Today we are back for another honest review video of the myriad of things that I spend my fun money on. We are talking about footwear, we've got heels, and they're not just any heels. They are convertible heels. As many women will have pondered in their lifetime, especially on a night out when their feet are aching, wouldn't it be nice if there were heels that could convert into flat shoes? And while decades ago this could only be in our dreams, nowadays there are many convertible shoe brands out on the market, least of all Pashion Footwear, of which I of course have placed a big order of some of their convertible heels. So this is a full honest first impressions review because I have been eyeing this company up for so long. Naturally, I had to see what the hype is about, and if you're interested too and you're just wondering, Mel, is it worth parting with my hard-earned cash? Then keep watching. And I have to reinforce, Pashion Footwear does not know that I'm making this video. I have paid for everything myself. Now, before I get into the contents of the boxes, for those of you that aren't too familiar with Pashion as a brand, let me just tell you a few things about them. They have patented technology that allows their heels to transform into not just flats, but anywhere in between. Lots of fun designs, lots of fun colors, all to give women the option of the comfort and style when it comes to their footwear, which, let's be honest, a lot of women's footwear has been designed by men, and you can really tell because they are incredibly uncomfortable Louboutins. But Pashion Footwear, however, is female founded and designed, and their CEO is Hayley Bavoni, and I believe she actually got impaled, like her foot got impaled by another woman's heel, which is actually why she started the business. So a silver lining in a weird way, because then she realized there was a real issue with women's shoes and that they're not comfortable and they can be dangerous. And actually on a night out, you do want the option of being able to swap out your heels without bringing another pair of shoes. So she invented this patented heel swapping technology. There's like 3 different locking mechanisms on the heel. I'll throw up some visuals and things that explain it better. They also have patented arch support, and it's fascinating because I've seen a lot of convertible heel brands, ones that just like pop off or fold in, but they're not as stable looking and sounding as the Pashion ones were. And you see a lot of advocates which are organic, which I think is a testament to the fact that the brand is well loved, it works. And so hopefully, fingers crossed, it works for me, because buying as an international customer, because they are US based, I don't see many international customer reviews online. Let's get into the boxes that we have. So I've got these 2 big ones, and then each pair actually comes with its own heel kit. And then I bought 2 extra ones here, which I'm hopefully going to be able to interchange. So we have the Brenna here. Now, this is a white leather heel. I believe they do different materials. They do vegan leathers. I think they do suedes. They do lots of other different styles, patent as well. And obviously colors and designs. I want leather because I think they're the most durable. I don't like the peeling that comes with synthetic heels. And I got it in a white because I don't actually own a pair of white heels, I don't think. So this is quite good. And I paired it with the white stiletto heel kit, which I can see here. And very on brand. This is their colorway. It's almost like this Tiffany blue. So the box is a little bit damaged, a little bit scratched, but if I like it, I'm not going to really keep the box anyway. And then you get these little info booklets. So what have we got here? Something saying, hey Passionista, your shoes have arrived, yay, now what? With a pair of shoes, stellos and a heel kit, you have everything you need to convert your shoes from flats to heels. Then it's got all the conversion instructions and then social media information as well, and that's from the CEO, which is a nice touch. And here is the booklet on how to convert the heels, and here we have the Brennas right there, smelling a little bit factory-esque, and I know they manufacture, as a side note, in China. This is smelling a little bit plasticky up front to me, but I wonder if that's just their warehouse. And it's got that stello arch support, which gives it the rigidity. Once you take that out, it becomes bendy with, I think, a sneaker-like sole, which is great because then when you pop the flat on, you won't have this raised bit. And we have the baby heels right here. I'm really curious to see how the sizing works because I got in US sizing a 7.5. I'm usually a UK size 5, but I know sometimes shoes can fit a little bit bigger or smaller, and I just didn't want a case of it fitting too small. So typically I would have gone with a US 7 for a 5, but my feet like to expand over time and I just want the flexibility just in case of this new brand not fitting how I want it to. I'm going to try and pop in a heel. And I love that, by the way, that is a dust bag, though I do wish it was not white. I wish it was almost like this Tiffany blue colour, because then I'd feel more comfortable about bringing dirty heels with me, if you see what I mean. But the bag is very generously sized. You could probably fit quite a few in here. And actually there's a little pockets here, so your heels are separate, so they're not knocking about. And by the way, there's a lot of extra packaging. I know it's needed, perhaps, just to separate everything, because it's quite a complex shoe, but it's quite a lot of paper, it's quite a lot of plastic. I'm going to put a heel, and I believe they're not left and right, so this is going to be fine whichever way you wear them. And there's like an extra trigger mechanism underneath. So let me see the instructions here. I need to have that in there. Okay, that's not so bad. So now that's in there, it just goes straight down, guys. Push the button down and around. Okay, that was not the most smooth from me, but it is very secure. That ain't coming out, guys. So now you have to press the button, pull. Fantastic. And she's out. I think you just need to break it in. And also it's a hot day right now in the UK, so a little bit sweaty. So that's probably also why it's taking a little bit longer. You basically have to twist the heel counterclockwise. Then it goes clockwise in. Then it pops in. I think the more you do it, the looser the mechanism will be. What I'm going to do is try and get the flat in there. So I've got to take the arch support out, take these little blocks out. So this one is going to be easier because you're just popping it there and then you're going to twist it, and that's the flat. And then there's a gap underneath here, from what I've seen in their videos, where you have to like get your thumb and then twist it. Okay, it's actually a lot easier than I thought. So we're going to temporarily open up the next box, and we've got the Sandal in Rattan and Whiskey. That is their new summer limited edition shoe. I've not gone with any of their closed toe shoes because I wanted to figure out the sizing, and I think open toes would look a lot better even if they fit slightly differently, if you see what I mean, because you might have more room to breathe with your feet. Whereas if you were to buy a closed toe shoe for the first time from a brand and it's too big or too small, it's just going to look odd. Inside is completely the same. We've got the two booklets in here, which are very helpful. And then we have this beautiful pair of the Rattan Whiskey sandals. We've got actually some good elastication on the sides, just as I'm trying to take out the stuffing. So it's really good because then when it goes from heels to flats, it's going to go very seamlessly because it's able to flex with your foot. So inside here, you also get the flat caps, which I believe are the same color. Perfect. Just pop them on so quickly and pop off so quickly as well. So very intentional details. Love that. And then the heel kit that I got is the block heel, which is the 4-inch also, but the other one's stiletto. This one is block. Same white bag. And then we pop out these two plastic heels or acrylic heels. So then she pops in. She goes to the right side. Come on now. She's in. Little bit harder to get in than the other one, but very secure. So again, it's just going to take a little bit of time, but I think she looks gorgeous. I'll just quickly show you the other heel kits that I got that are going to hopefully interchange between the two that we have, which is a big selling factor of the Pashion range. What we have here is a block heel in rattan, so that should match really nicely with the Rattan and Whiskey, as well as the Brennas actually. And then I've got the white mother of pearl cylinder block heel kit here, and that's in 3 inches, so something a little bit lower. I didn't feel the need to get the baby blocks because ultimately I'm either going to go full heel or no heel. So this is the rattan, which is very cute. And then this is the cylinder mother of pearl block heel. So we've got a good variety. Let's just go and try on these heel kits. So here we have the rattan. Beautiful. I absolutely love the look on that. The Whiskey rattan. This is also perfect match, assuming I can do the mechanism properly. Here we go. Look at her, beautiful. Let's just try the cylinder mother of pearl block, which I'm definitely getting a lot quicker at now, guys. So pretty happy with that. Less of a match, but it could still work in a pinch. And then with the Brennas, the white Brennas, and that's so stunning. Let's talk price before we go and try them on. So the Brenna in white leather with the stiletto heel kit, £155 for the base shoe with the flat heel kit, and then it added on another £35 for the stiletto heel, but they packaged them together, so it's weird that they split them out. Then the sandal, which is in rattan and whiskey, was £185 with the flat cap included, and then with the block heel kit, that was an additional £40. Now let's talk about the extra heel kit. So the rattan was £50 and the mother of pearl was also £50. I believe they're £50 across the board. Some of the fancier ones might be 60, lower ones might be 40, for example. And obviously I'm an international customer, so I can't advise on the whole tariff shenanigans that are happening. We'll have bolted on extra prices for you guys. So I'm afraid I'll have to defer to either Pashion or local US-based creators for that. The retail price was actually $515 with everything full price, but I actually got everything on a 30% flash sale code, and so that was in my email inbox. I don't think it's valid anymore, but sign up to their emails. They'll frequently do like 15 to 20, maybe even 30% like I did, and that means I paid £360.50 total, so I saved about £154, which is great. I got free shipping because I met the minimum threshold. I had no import taxes or duties, funnily enough, to the UK, which is odd because some people have paid in the past. I'm not sure what happened, guys, if they absorbed it, if it was an error, but that made obviously the price of these shoes a lot more affordable, because I know this kind of straddles the premium kind of high end range of pricing for heels. Even the fact that it came from China, well, it's only the fact that they have the ability to make the technology. And as I've mentioned in previous videos regarding the tariffs, their quality is on par, if not in some respects superior, given the technology that they're able to create with the European kind of name brand countries. Definitely no shame in buying from made in China, and also if they are competitively priced as well, then who are we to complain as customers if they are also being ethical and sustainable. All of that being said, let us now try them on, and then we will end with our final thoughts. And I'm going to start off with the white Brenna heels, and we're going to start off with the 4-inch stilettos. So it's a very pure white. And we've also got some nice little details of elastic here, which is great. You've also got the shoe size in the inside, some nice little hardware details like the Pashion button, which now takes out very easily. Okay, so this is what they look like on. Please excuse the fact that my feet are not like freshly manicured or anything. If you're looking for foot content, this is not the channel for you. But this is how they look on. I think they fit perfectly. You can see there's not much shoe gapping right about here. There is a tiny amount at the front here, but that's what I need for my toes to breathe. Sizing up half a size was definitely a good shout. On the ankle, I love that there are options for loosening or tightening the fastening. There's also a good elastication here. One thing we definitely want to do is a stomp test. Can it withstand my weight? And the answer is yes. All right, so now we're going to take the heel off. The arch support's gone too. And now we're going to put the baby heel in, the flat. And we are now going to try these on and see if they're giving elf foot or not. Okay, now this is a very weird sensation. The weight distribution has gone back on my heel now because we don't have the arch support. So naturally that arch is still fresh in the shoe. It's going to take some time to fully go down, especially on the toe area. I have to really push. But I do feel like over time, breaking the shoes in, that will go. If you're walking around, like, you're not going to be able to notice that so much. I do think, though, if you had, like, one of the baby block heels, that wouldn't be so pronounced because you'd have a little something here. And you wouldn't need the arch support anyway. And it would just look quite natural. This looks a little bit odd. Like, I almost feel if you got rid of that, it's kind of the same. Obviously, I know it's because you want to protect the inside mechanism from wear and tear, so I get why I've done it, but it's not really adding much. Walking in it is a bit like walking as a baby deer. It is a little bit off balance, but I do think that's where the straps come in to hold your foot in place. I feel like if I was without this ankle strap, my foot may go flying, but it fits a need. And for that reason, you can't really complain too much, can you? We are now going to end the Brenna's part of this video by taking the flat cap off and popping on the cylinder mother of pearl heel. And we're just going to try and mix and match the look, because that's one of the redeeming factors of this particular shoe. I think it looks super cute with the mother of pearl in. So I've got to say, of the heels, this has got to be my favorite, and I think the heel height is also perfect as a go-between for a night out, but also a day out. And I think the heel height is a perfect go-between for a day out and also night out. It feels very stable. Giving it a bit of a stump test, nothing is happening. So again, a good thumbs up from me, and definitely a lot of ways to style this. I think it's the perfect neutral shoe. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the Rattan and Whiskey sandals. And I've got obviously the 4-inch heel blocks in the whiskey colorway. And I've got to say, these are actually a lot more comfortable than the other sandals, which actually they're providing me much more stability. And I think the elastic sides are also a lot thicker, which are helping make it a lot more comfortable as well. Now, of course, we need to do the obligatory stomp test. Jumping, stomping, and it's very secure, so nothing is going to get these bad boys off. Love the style, love the limited edition combination. I think it's really nice and summery, which is great for holidays. Love the crisscross detail. I think it looks very classy, and it's going to look really nice high-heeled or flat-shoed, I think, as well. Now we're going to change into the flat caps, and I've got my shoes still on, so I'm going to see if I can do it like in the promo videos on their social media while standing up, because I think that will be the ultimate test. Okay, so I've got my flat caps here. I'm going to do 1 foot at a time. I think the twist is always on the right, so I'm going to pretend like I'm a woman on the go. I'm so tired. I'm tired of dancing. And out she pops, just like that. The descent is quite shocking for my foot. There you go, there's the comparison. Flat caps are in. Now, I'm going to turn myself this way. Getting out of breath doing this. And we're going to do the same. Look at that. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. Oh my gosh, the descent is always scary. And you can do it one-handed. But this one doesn't look as elven, if you see what I mean, at the front toe cap. This one's a lot better. And as you can see, the elastic is really coming in handy, because right here you can see a little bit of gapping, which is forming naturally, but that's where the elastic fastening and the adjustment holes will come in. And then, of course, the final test is if we can pop in the new heel kits, the Rattan ones, in while standing up too. You're going to need the arch support here and the heel block. And then twist. Ha! We did it! Let's pop the arch support in. It's caught. I have to do this also in a way that I can show you too. Now, heel pops in, button inside is pressed. She's in. She's in. And she looks very cute, might I add. Matches perfectly. Heard a minor click. I'm not sure if that was a click into place or out of place. Let's find out. Must be in place. Very cute. Love that. Okay, so now that we've tried the shoes on, let's end here with our final thoughts upon holding these babies myself instead of just seeing them on social media. I think they are just a game changer, and they actually work. The locking mechanism is way easier to do than it seems from other people's reviews online, and they're very, very sturdy. And I love the options that they give you, right? Because you can literally buy limitless amounts of heel kits, even the arch supports as well, to customize your shoes, and the sky's the limit really. And I love that level of customization. It feels like the most sustainable choice there is, actually, because you're not buying so many different pairs of heels. You're buying simply different heel kits. And I think if you were to buy base neutral colors like I have, almost any heel kit could go with it, and it definitely makes your money go a lot further. And this is going to be a godsend on nights out. I think for wedding heels as well, they do a really great series of wedding shoes, because this is going to be the ideal for brides who want to have different options on the wedding day. I think this mother of pearl one's great. There's bound to be something that you like, and I think it's the most practical choice, especially if you are getting married or packing light for holidays. For example, I've got one coming up where it's just hand luggage only. And this gives me me 4 different heel options in one. And I do think, despite what some people would perceive as a more premium price point, given I'm somebody who buys, Hermes, Chanel, Louis Vuitton footwear, this is so inexpensive in comparison with so many more options. They also do wider foot styles as well, which is great. And you can filter that on their website, and it's great. They have half sizes, customer service in terms of the shipping, in terms of even like the payment options, and also the coupons and discounts that you can get. Also very good. In terms of the shipping, I got my pairs within like a week, potentially like 7 business days. Also, the discount codes that they do have, they always have a year-round promotion, even if it's just a welcome discount to, something's in your basket, they will always try and entice you to buy, and they frequently do little events and things on their social media, so you can keep an eye out for those. Also, everything was securely packaged, very intuitive, everything is well labeled, and the fact that there's instructions in every single box, and you have little storage options here for your heel kits with the Pashion branding is fantastic. Could the packaging be a little bit more minimal, i.e. less wastage, so it's more sustainable? Yes. Could this bag be a little bit more premium and perhaps darker colored for heels? Also yes. Things that I would say to bear in mind, not necessarily cons as such, is number 1, the price point. It would still be considered luxury to a lot of people, especially if there's tariffs tacked on, taxes, duties. Different heel kits would actually bump up the price a lot more, given that a base heel is 150, 160 pounds, and then a heel kit on top of that, in addition to make it more customizable, is 50 pounds. So you could easily rack up another 100 pounds just from 2 heel kits. If you buy another one, that's basically another heel in itself. Customization is great and everything, but if you do too much customization, you're ending up buying actually more shoes than if you were to buy something else. It is a little bit of an investment because you are buying into their technology, you're bought into their ecosystem. So if they discontinue certain things, then you're kind of stuck. It's kind of like when you buy an espresso pods or an espresso machine. If they discontinue that specific machine or that specific pod, you're kind of stuck with the bag, you see what I mean? So you're bought into that ecosystem. I would also say there is a slight learning curve as well when it comes to popping the heels in and out. I'm gonna also blame it on the heat in the UK. You will be able to get it just takes a little bit of time. The returns window, depending on your geography, is going to be relatively tight or risky, because not only is there a 14-day return window, but I think you're in charge of your own postage as well. So that's why I decided to go a little bit more generous by a half size in my sizing. I measured my foot, I did everything that the sizing chart recommended, and I made the right call, I believe. But I'm sure that is part and parcel with any international company, regardless of where they are based. My personal recommendation is to go with the sizing chart recommendations, measure your feet if possible. And then also there are reviews and copious notes that are in each specific heel model, and they'll tell you if you should half size up, half size down. My personal recommendation is always stay at your size, bearing on the measurements, or go half size up, unless a lot of reviews are telling me they go half size down. Would I say that they're worth it? Yes, I would. Obviously, time will tell in regards to wear and tear. These are made of plastic, right? And especially when it comes to the heel mechanism, that will obviously take some time to figure out if it's going to get rusty or not. I don't know what happens when water gets into it, because let's say you're walking around and it just happens to rain. Will the mechanism rust? Time will tell. But I do like the attention to detail. They do have innovative technology. They've got beautiful designs and does what it says on the tin. But anyways, hopefully you guys found that very, very useful. I think what they're doing is fantastic, revolutionary for women, and really great to see this level of innovation still able to enter the footwear space, which is otherwise very saturated. So that is everything. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one.